Shalom, Boker Tov, my friends. Good morning. This week, we have another recipe from our garden, from our gan that we are growing at Kehillah. So this week, we are going to be using our tered, which is spinach, and some petrozelia, which is parsley, which we have in our little herb bag again. And those we have grown and harvested from our garden at Kehillah. Some other ingredients we're going to need: some shallot or garlic. Right now, shallots and long neck garlic are what are in season and growing right now. Garlic is being harvested and we'll need to dry and cure some before we can use the bulb garlic that we think of. I have some Parmesan cheese. If you can't have dairy, vegan, or if you want to be using this recipe with meat, you can make a vegan parm. You got to blend a cup of raw cashews, 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And you use it in the same ratio as you would Parmesan. Our bottle of olive oil, salt, pepper, important. And then you need to have an acid of sorts. Usually we like to use lemon a lot of the time. I have some lime, a couple of limes here. Or you can use, I have some red wine vinegar or some rice vinegar. Different options as long as you get that nice acidic flavor you have there. I like fresh lime, so we'll stick with that today. So we are going to be making a delicious pesto with all of these ingredients. These are all fresh, in season right now. Pesto is a very fun thing to make. You can play with the ingredients a lot. Basically, you got to make sure that you have a fat, olive oil, salt, with your Parmesan and salt, and an acid of sort, and some spice. But you can really play around from there. We like a garlicky base to it, and then you can mix around with flavors from there. So we're going to be putting everything in this mini food processor we have here. I'm going to be making a small portion of it, just because I'm one person, but you guys can make this recipe larger at home. So I have my handful of our tered, our spinach. We're going to rinse that off. Back at the garden, we have 5 spinach plants right now that are just starting to come in season with all their nice long leaves are grown big. We read the book together at school about Sylvia's spinach, and Sylvia thought she did not like spinach. No, thank you. And Sylvia ended up growing spinach at her school garden, and she got to taste her fresh spinach, and guess what? She loved spinach. She couldn't stop eating it. So today we're going to put our spinach, our tered, into our little food processor here. Our herbs that we're going to use today, we're going to use the petrozelia, parsley. So we're going to pull out some more herbs from here. I also have some rosemary and thyme from our garden that we'll use in another recipe. Might throw some sprigs in this later. We'll see what kind of flavor we like. So now, our parsley we've harvested, most flavor is going to be up here in the leaves. Stem doesn't have much flavor, a little bitter, so we're not going to take much of that. This is where you can help get the kids involved. Great for those little fingers, they can snap them off. Or if we want to work for our pre-K kids, if you guys want to work on using scissors, you guys can cut whatever you like, just so that you get rid of most of the stem. The stem has long leaves, we'll just pull it off, snap it off there. I'm setting my stems aside, they'll go in my compost. Snap all this petrozelia, beautiful parsley. One more big stem in there. Excellent. Now traditional pesto, we see basil is one of the big uses in that. That is traditional, but there's lots of ways you can turn your pesto around, including spinach and different types of herbs. So we've got our parsley and our spinach in that blender. My stems are going to go to the side. They'll go in the compost shortly. Got a dog here checking out what we're making. Are we making pesto today, Boone? Yum. So I have my shallot. It's a pretty large shallot. I don't need all of this. I'm going to cut off the roots. Ooh, move this big olive oil out of the way. I'm going to cut off these roots here. Not going to eat those. And I'm probably going to take these 2, maybe one more. A little more bone. Sound good? Excellent. This is about the size of what one small shallot that we think of, that we see in the store. 3 small slices of that are going to go in. I like a lot of that strong flavor in there. Some people might not like it as strong. That's okay. There we go. And I will wrap that shallot up and it'll go back in my fridge later. Excellent. So we got all that yummy flavors going. Then we need to add in, I'm going to add in some of my Parmesan. Now, Miss Barry's not very good at measuring. I like to eyeball things. I don't like to follow recipes very much, but I'm trying to get better at that. So I'm going to go for about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan in there. Again, this is just for me, 1 single serving, but if you guys are making this at home, make it larger. This is something that keeps great in the fridge for a long time, about 2 weeks. Get Parmesan, all right. Next, we're gonna get another big old pinch of salt in there. Probably about half a tablespoon of salt, just put in. What are you doing, buddy? Boone's playing over there. I got some fresh cracked pepper going in. Excellent. And when I need some of my beautiful acid flavor, I'm sticking with limes today. You can use lemon, lime, if you prefer vinegar, whatever it might be for you. Go ahead and squeeze. I have about 3/4 of a lime here. I like a nice acidy flavor. Try not to squeeze this juice everywhere. Beautiful. Get that delicious lime in there. That's also going to go in my compost. Put that aside. And one more thing we need so that it can blend up nice and smooth. Some of our olive oil. A couple of really good glugs in there of that. You might think it's a lot, but pesto really goes a long way. So it's not like we're sitting eating all this. And these are really good, healthy fats for you. Excellent. And now in our food processor, put our lid on. This is going to make a bit of noise. Peek on it. Let's see. So we still have lots of big pieces, so I'm going to give it, I have a spoon or spatula, give it a stir around in there. Remember, no fingers in here. This is going to be sharp inside there. Give it a stir. I can already smell all these delicious fresh herbs coming together. Another blend. Beautiful blend of all these herbs and shallots together. Now your pesto, if you like, you can make it a really fine puree or a little chunkier, up to you. And this is where you're going to play around with your olive oil amount. If you want a nice thicker paste or maybe a little runnier, which I do, because this is going to go on my pasta tonight. Give it one more blend all together. That just looks beautiful. Oh, look at that lovely, lovely pesto that came together. Pretty green in there. Smells amazing. So I'm going to give it a stir. And I've got a spoon over here to give it a taste of. That is delicious. The fresh flavors of spring from our garden. Got some spinach in there. Give it some creamy richness. That fresh parsley gives a beautiful zing. And this is something that's going to keep around for a little bit. I look forward to cooking again with you guys from our Kehillah kitchen. And we will see you soon.